computer. Good. So you were telling me about the you were telling me about the guy that you wanted to do this stuff for. Um,
Oh,
what I
the
wanted to do today was to continue working on the outline for you for your business. So today
mm,
we're just doing the structure of your business and doing the outline. You had given me a pretty good intro so far, and you had listed your services up.
yeah,
So one of the things, let me go back to your services list
yeah. I sent you a very extensive list of
yeah,
services,
of your services.
but
Now, hmm,
uh, but I can't see myself. Well, I don't want to continue um being all over the place.
exactly.
I want to be narrow. I want to
I
narrow,
can narrow you down. That's correct. I am gonna narrow
find a
you down.
niche.
I'm gonna narrow
Yeah.
you down. I'm gonna narrow
Well,
you.
and the other thing I checked out the Vista print. Yes, Vista print can print on the material he wants, but they don't ship to Barbados. That was the problem. So I don't know how it will work around that.
It doesn't ship to Barbados.
Don't ship to Barbados, and they
That
don't
it
do
doesn't it
the
doesn't ship that material to Barbados, or it doesn't ship at all to
no,
Barbados.
it doesn't ship at all to Barbados. They don't ship at all to Barbados.
You could get around that by somebody sending them up to you, man. I could get
But
somebody in the US who would do that for you and send them up. Um, but it's just what it would cost. If he's willing to
mm,
pay for it, you billing all the costs onto him and deliver what the client wants.
he tell me what sample, but if I join Vista print, I can't get in a sample.
You can't do no
But
samples. You gotta
he,
do the whole thing.
but they don't cut out. See how I got those in the shape of the
Yeah.
excavator. Vista print they can't do that either too.
So how do
So
you have a machine that does that?
well, I don't do that. I get the a woman does that for me. She has a machine that will cut out the I guess the machine cuts out the laminate itself too.
Hmm.
And actually she sticks two sides together and all. She does a lot of work on them. So that's why
Mm.
they're that
There's a
expensive.
lady who does this. Isn't this lady in Carrington Village? Is that her?
No, 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 no.
Because
She's
there's a lady in
there for
Carrington
that.
Village who does some awesome work with card and paper too.
Mm,
Mhm. All right, so let's look at your services.
mm,
Um, Before I look at your services, there's some things that I want to say to you just to get your mind in the right place as to why we're going in the direction that we're going.
mm.
Um, you can take, if you have your notebook, you can take, well, we can record anyhow, but there might be some notes that you might want to make as I go through.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there are a couple of things I want to say to you to
Uh,
the stage, to set the foundation. And this is where you would start. Um, First of all, the definition of a small business. You are a small business owner, and I think it's important that my clients remember these things and understand these things and keep it at the forefront of your minds when you are creating your business plan and you're doing your services and so on. So the first thing is the definition of a small business. What is a small business? So a small business is defined as a business that is independent, not part of a larger business.
mhm,
It is defined as a business that's independent, it's not part of a larger business, and it has relatively little influence on the market. Little influence in the market, right? The importance of the small business in the economy is one, job creation. And these are the points you need to put down as a small business person, because these are the things that help keep you focused, help keep you centered. When you feel like, wait, this thing that can't work it, these are the things that you must remember. Okay. So one, the importance, job creation. So you're creating a job for yourself, and you are also, by extension, creating jobs for other people. All that.
Okay.
Innovation, job creation, innovation, and contribution to big businesses. Contribution to big businesses. And that's important, and it's broken down into two segments where, in terms of your contributions to big businesses, you're suppliers of specialized services and raw materials. That's one way. Or you're sellers of larger firms' products. Two things that are very important. Because if you see yourself in that light, you are going to then be able to, you're going to be more aware of looking for your opportunities. If you understand the contribution that you play to big businesses. So you will see, whenever you're planning your services and planning your business, or let's say your business is accustomed producing certain things or only doing certain services. If you have a downtime and you remember the role that you play in terms of contributing to larger businesses, you can always go to them and look for sources that will rally you through your low times. Okay.
Give me those 2 points again.
Good. So job creation, innovation, and contribution to big businesses. Those three things are very important for a small business person to remember. Because
Right, so
those
right, the two sub points for
good for
contribution.
contribution. So
Yeah.
one, you're a supplier of specialized services and raw materials.
Specialized services and raw materials. Let me
And
write that.
two,
I can get it read. Get it wrong.
right?
Two is
Sellers of larger firms' products. So as a small business person, you can sell the products from a larger firm. That's how a lot of people use Amazon. A lot of people go on Amazon and they pick products
yeah,
from Amazon, and then they resell, and they make lots of
yeah,
money from just doing that, right?
yeah.
Good. Now, the next definition you need to know is entrepreneurship. You're an entrepreneur. What does that mean? Now, this is the process of seeking business opportunities under risk. This is the process of seeking business opportunities under risk. Now, if you have that definition at the forefront of your mind, then it will ease some of the angst that you feel as an entrepreneur, because you know straight off the cuff, it involves risk. Are you risk ready? Are you risk averse? So it helps you to shape your mindset. So if you know now, well, look, I'm an entrepreneur, I have this little business, but I don't like taking risks, you know what you got to do from now on? You got to adjust that mindset. Because entrepreneurship, the core definition of entrepreneurship is the process of seeking business opportunities under conditions of risk.
Right. Because it got some more flamboyant definitions.
Right, but no,
Yeah.
we keeping it real today.
I listen. Before I didn't used to consider myself a small business, yeah, but you got to keep it real for true. I used to feel insulted by that term.
Right. And
Because
go ahead.
I always used to be like, as a global business, you understand? So they call me the small business.
Right, but when you see the proper context, then you understand how the term is really used. And when you hear the word small business, if you were to
keep it real.
if you were to put yourself in an income range as a small business,
I would become a micro.
so tell me what you think the range is for a small business.
a small business.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't start from zero. It will probably start from zero or for $1. How you give it per annual or monthly or what?
What I'm
What's
going to tell
this?
you is going to jump you.
Mm,
The small business revenue range. You ready for it?
yeah.
You sitting down?
I said it down. Yeah, I had a soft chair.
It's from 1 million to over 40 million.
You see?
That's the
1
revenue.
million, 1 million to 40 million.
Yes, please. And by employment, from 100 to over 1,500 employees. And this is by US Census.
Whoa. Right, because then like I said, then you gotta get into micro.
So, for example, based on the SBA definition, which is the Small Business Administration or Association, a roofing contractor is defined as a small business if it has annual revenues of 16.5 million or less.
There's America again.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I just use them so that you will get a
Mm,
global idea if you're
mm,
thinking globally, right?
mm. Yeah.
So I give you that so you would not feel insulted.
Correct.
Small
Yeah,
business
yeah,
is used.
it's true.
You
It's
can
true.
hold your shoulders up now. Let's call you a small business.
You're meant to be a small business.
Thank you.
You gotta keep it real for
You
true.
see, you see,
You
knowledge is
definitely gotta keep it
power.
real. You understand? You understand what you're falling to Wells? Like, don't call me a small business. You wish you was a small business. Yeah.
Yeah, Crystal was saying the conglomerates and the franchises are the Fortune
Uh,
500s. See,
uh,
so knowing the real categories and the descriptions is very, very, very important because
yeah,
you you are according to what you're called.
yeah.
You respond to what you're called. So if your interpretation of what you're called is wrong, you know you're gonna respond differently.
True. Not only that, as you go, yeah, you try to define yourself as a small business or something, and you're nowhere near that, in revenue. People laugh at you.
But you know what I did? You know what I just did for you?
Mm,
Was the small business revenue start?
you said 15 million or
It starts from a
uh,
million
a million.
to over 40 million.
Mm.
So if you're a small business person, what did I just do for you?
You just give me targets.
Exactly. So if you're going to
Target.
start, and this is annual income. So if you're going to start pitching now and planning,
Hmm. Yeah, you just give me
you know that we're looking annually at
target.
how you can combine. You see that services list you did? You
Hmm.
now have a better idea as to how that service list has to work for you. Because to be defined as a small business person, we're talking a million at least.
Hmm.
You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Next step. It's false. It's not a good place to be. Two cups of lemonade. So check it now. We were working hard, but not getting anything. So what I want y'all to do for me now is to take $1 million, put it into a calculator and divide it by 12. So that you see what your monthly revenue, at least for that $1 million, has to look like. This is how we do it. This is how I get you to where you need to get to quickly, Sylvester. There's no university course that will do this for you. None. I'm still searching for one. Even what they do as entrepreneurship is not as practical. So put that $1 million into a calculator and divide it by 12
83,000, 83,333.
a month.
Yeah.
So you have to get comfortable with that figure, and you have to now look at your services list in light of that figure.
Mm.
Because I can't remember if I told you a story about when I was working in Westmoreland and the lady said to her husband, honey, if we're not getting at least 300 pounds an hour for that, it makes no sense looking at it.
I feel like, yeah, at least 300,
Pounds an hour.
300 pounds an hour.
No point in even looking at it.
I said no fat boy.
You understand what? Would that woman there kill me? Well, I was sitting in the house teaching their child, teaching their children, their son. And when I heard that, I was like, wait, I really charging too low for this.
You
This
drop.
time, I was charging $65 an hour, 2 hour 130, and I was doing a half, 1.5 hour. The other half was my travel. And I was like, what? Well, this is madness.
You can't drop out your hand, man.
What? I was like, thank you, her, thanks. You see how we think. So as Crystal said, we were bamboozled even by our education to go out there and sell lemonade, to go out there and sell things, but not understanding what your revenue should look like. So you'll be selling lemonade $1, $1.50. You selling lemonade, so you thinking you can get rich, and you don't even know what rich is like. Right. So
Yeah.
when you work out that million, you divide it by 12, then that's where we're starting, Sylvester. That's where we're starting. So you understand the definition of entrepreneurship. The next thing I want you to know now, and this is very important, is the entrepreneurial characteristics. 1, successful entrepreneurs are resourceful. If you don't have it, you got to know where to go to get it. If you don't know where to go to get it, you got to know where to go to get it, to find out where to go to get it. But you got to get it.
Yeah.
Even if that place to go to get it is called Google, to find out where to go to get it. So that's number 1. You must be resourceful if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur. 2, you are concerned about good customer relations.
Mhm.
3, you have a compulsive desire to be your own boss.
Mm.
You understand why that's so important? Because if you don't have that compulsive desire and you're okay working for other people, you understand where the problem will come. There has to be something in you that's constantly driving you to be your own boss.
Yep.
And that must be stronger than that other thing in you to work for somebody else.
I have to tell you the truth, I think I have that because
Good.
I've been following an HR expert, Bridget Harrison, on LinkedIn, and she is good. She is great at advice and preparing you for jobs and all that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still a job. You're still working for somebody.
Yeah. And it simply means just overbooked. And what I have found is that whenever whenever you're working with someone, they control the ceiling of your income.
Yeah.
And whatever income you're getting in a job, If you study, if you look at it well, you would realize that no matter how much people are earning, they never seem to earn enough because whatever level of income you're earning, your expenses are very close behind.
Mhm.
Because if you're at the executive level, then you got to drive an executive vehicle. So it means that you don't have as much disposable income as you could have if there were certain expectations that came along with that salary. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you get paid at a certain level and you expected to dress a certain way, you gotta go and buy Harvey Bernard suits and so on. You can't just go to work in SY Adams clothes, SY Adams clothes. Right. So you find that, you know, the just over broke, you will find, and obviously you're going to increase your standard of living, so you're going to buy a nicer home. The taxes for that home will increase. The you know, the amount you have to spend on that home in terms of mortgage will increase. So everything is increases,
Mhm.
and that's the trick there.
Yeah.
So you're concerned about good customer relations. You have a desire to be your own boss. A compulsive desire to be your own boss. It
Yeah.
must be compulsive.
Compulsive.
It,
Yeah.
it must be strong, stronger than your desire to work for somebody or that
Right.
comfortability of working with somebody. Everybody who's comfortable working for somebody usually is comfortable working for somebody. Um, you must be able to deal with uncertainty and risk.
Mhm.
So you must make allocations for this. You must be able to deal with uncertainty and risk. So with that comes in my mindset that when you're doing well, because you understand that uncertainty and risk is tied to being an entrepreneur, it means when you're
Yeah.
doing well, you got to put aside for the
Yeah.
uncertainty and risk that's attached to it.
Right.
You can't be like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, boy. I make $20,000 this month, so look, we going partying and inviting all my friends out, boy, and we spending 15,000. Oh no.
You know what that don't remind me of? I thought that someday you might tell me the story if you know it.
Uh-huh.
But what really happened to Neville Ross? Because I can remember him winning an entrepreneur of the year. And
Yeah,
then I don't know how many years after, but quick saw everything came tumbling down.
right.
So
I will tell you that off the record.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one.
Mm.
Successful entrepreneurs are open-minded. All of these are characteristics that even if you don't have them, you know that this is what you have to get. So what I say to my
Yeah.
clients, my coaching clients, is, you know what? Get a bag, Sylvester. It doesn't matter what type of bag. As a matter of fact, I want to build it into my brand where I get my own bags designed for my clients just for this purpose. But what I
Mhm.
say to my clients is get a bag, get an empty bag. And just as you would pack a suitcase if you were traveling, it could be, you know, these supermarket bags, like, oh, you have the popular bags and Chanel's and those kind of things. You can get one of those. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. If
Right.
you want to get a, as Crystal say, you want to get one of the brand name body bags now.
You may have a set.
For the female, what would be the brands for the females? Gucci and
Michael Carr and
right. So if the females want to get that, you can do that. But what I want you to do is to get a bag and start packing your bag with these characteristics.
Mm.
You can get a piece of card, you can get a piece of paper, you can write it on it and drop it in that bag. The purpose of that bag is for you to pack the things that you need to become, you need and or that you need to be or you need to become. And when you put those in that bag, then you break down each one into actionable steps that you have to take. So if, for example, being open-minded, all of us have our biases. There are things that we're not open-minded about. But if we want to be a successful entrepreneur, then we have to be consciously intentional about when we must show up as an open-minded person. So that's why I say get a bag and pack it, put it in that bag so that whenever you want to be reminded of who you are supposed to be and what you are supposed to be, you can go in that bag and find those things. So it has to become a physical part of your environment. right?
Okay.
Next one, rely on networks. This one will pinch Crystal and probably Sylvester, because I remember you talked about this before. The relationships, nurturing your relationships.
Mhm.
Rely on networks. That's number one. Business plans and consensus. Those three things: networks, business plans, and consensus. Your consensus, what are your agreements? What commitments and so on have you made? You must rely on those things. So you have to build a network and you must rely on them. You cannot be disconnected from your networks if you want to be a successful business person. And when we come to talk about networking on its own, I will do a diagram for you. Even if you look at networking in electronics or IT, you understand the principle is the same. If you look at it in plumbing, principle is the same. You look at your plumbing, right? I would have gotten my house from a shell, so to speak, right? It came with the indoor plumbing and so on, but it did not have things like the outdoor pipe, right? The yard, the pipe in the yard pipe. So I installed that myself. And in installing that myself, I had to find the main. So I had to start from the meter and follow the pipe as it came into my yard to find the part where now I can connect that pipe to that, cut that, connect to that, and bring this yard pipe off from that. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Networks. I could go and stick the yard pipe wherever I want to stick it, but it will not work unless I connect it back to the main. You must establish your networks. So rely on networks, business plans, and consensus.
Business plan in this context is the document.
Yes, the plan, you must have a plan for your business. So this is what we are doing now. I'm going to give you, we're going to start the outlining now of your business plan.
What is consensus?
The agreements that you've made, the commitments you've made. You know, sometimes people would ask us for things, or we would get opportunities that are in alignment with our business. And in the moment you say, yeah, I could do that for you. Or you might hear somebody say, well, I would make some graphics or so and so. And you see opportunity. And right there in the moment, it hits you like, yeah, that's a good. But then you do not get back to it. You don't follow through on it. You might have told the person, yes, I will call you on that. You made an agreement. Right?
Okay.
You're not going to be successful if you don't rely and follow through on those things. Next, have different views on how to succeed. Have different views on how to succeed. And how to automate a business. These two things are very important. In other words, this is where the flexibility comes in. Because if you only know one way, when that one way does not work, what happens?
Oh, okay.
Business done.
So different
And the last one, you must know when to rely on experience or business acumen. You must know when to rely on experience or business acumen. In other words, there are some things that experience will teach you, and then there are some things that the textbooks will say, do it this way. Right?
Mm.
So, further definition of the entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is one who accepts. You hear that word? An entrepreneur is one who accepts. Not somebody who just knows, but somebody who accepts the risk. So, what I would say to you after today's session, these are the things you need to pray about. Turn these into prayer points. So, the entrepreneur is one who accepts the risks and opportunities. One who accepts the risks and opportunities of creating this is an extension of what I gave you before. One who accepts the risks and opportunities of creating.
Mm-hmm.
And you want these three things, you want to list these three things. Creating, they're three separate things. Okay. Creating, operating.
Oh, okay. Creating,
and growing a new business. These are the three parts. And I tell my clients, it forms the acronym COG, C-O-G. Mm-hmm. It's a COG. You accept the risks and opportunities associated with creating, operating, and growing. Three separate aspects.
That's true.
So what we're doing now is the creation phase. Mm. Operating is the next phase, and then growing is the next phase. So you see, it forms a cog. So what does a cog do? It turns. When you look at a cog, there are different parts of that cog, and when it all fits together, it's able to turn. That's what you do as a business.
Right.
So finally, the small business owner, a small business owner is a person who independently owns a business.
Small business owner
is a person who independently owns a business.
Independently owns business. Mm-hmm.
That has relatively little impact
relatively little impact
in its market. Sounds daunting.
You know, in, in the grand scheme of things, this thing that you spend it burning the candle both ends, blood, sweat, and tears.
As Crystal say, they're making lemonade all the time. 1 minute, please. Just give me 1 minute.
No problem.
All right. So
Mm.
that is it in summary. The small business person, the entrepreneur. So in starting, when we look at the creation of a small business, this is where we're starting. 1 minute, Sylvester. Let me just check something because I just want to. Yeah, my other meeting's at 2:30, so let me just send a message off for that.
Okay.
Good. So in the creation of the small business, when we're talking about starting the small business, the first thing we must do is craft the business plan. So stage one is crafting the business plan. So what I'm going to do is just outline the steps for you today, right?
Okay.
Um, in starting the business, starting the business plan is step one. The prelim phases to your business plan, which when I say prelim, some people do this before they do the business plan, right? But the
Okay.
business planning should really be step one. However, some people do these things before they do the business plan. So the prelim stages could be one, registering your business name,
Mm.
and two, opening a bank account.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mm. Okay.
All right, so preliminary, we're talking registering the business name and setting up a bank account. Now, why I said business plan should be stage one is that even when you go to set up the bank account, you will find that there will be questions relating to how much money you expect to deposit monthly and withdraw monthly and all of that. And that you will get that information from having your business plan.
Right.
Right. So, and before you can get a bank account, you first have to register the business name because the banks will need that registration and um, the receipt of payment and so on to open that bank account for you, right? So these are the stages. So registering that business name, business plan, opening bank account. Or you could register business name. Some banks will let you open a business account and then you could do your business plan. There are some banks that will ask you for a business plan before they give you a business account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why
Okay.
a business account? Because if you have a business and you don't have a business account, you don't have a business. Your business account is what identifies you as a business. You understand me?
Uh-huh.
So if you have no business account, you really have no paper trail. You really have no accounting trail. You have no money trail that you have a business. You might have a hustle, But to be recognized as a business and to be able to produce financial statements and so on, you need your business bank account. So registering that business name, registering, opening your bank account, and having your business plan. 3 important steps, right?
Mhm.
So the parts of the business plan that we must address, and this, I'm going to give you this, and then we will come back. Our next session, I want to be able to complete this. So let me see, this is now October. I don't know if you will be able, if you'll be able to do another one within October that you can complete this. It's not a problem if you want to do it in October just to get through it, and you want to pay me, after that, not a problem, because I want us to get through this and get to the real operational aspects, right? So starting the business plan, these are the things that you need to address in the business plan. 1, the entrepreneur's goals and objectives. That's number 1. What are your goals and objectives? So based on the discussion we had just now about what the revenue range for a small business, you already can pitch your revenue range within that realm because you know what it is. So what are your goals and objectives? That's one part of it. Next part is your sales forecasting. And then the last part is your financial planning.
Financial
Planning.
planning.
Yes. So this is where I'm going to stop here. So what I want you to do for me is to, I know you had already done the description, you had done the services, but I want you to do, to start thinking of your goals and objectives. What do you really want to achieve? Start setting the goals and objectives for you, not just for you personally, but in the context of the business that you want to create. Not just the business you want to create for the here and now, but the business that you want to create for the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 9 months, the next year, the next 10 years, the next 20 years, next 30 years. Start thinking like that. So even if we are only able to document what the business looks like in the next year, at least you would have opened up your mind to the existence of this business for 20 years, 30 years. Because if you don't do that, you will find that if, let's say, you don't project or plan for your business to be around for 30 years, it is obvious that there's a high possibility that the business would only be around for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years because you did not plan for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
If you did not plan to pay an employee $300 for 12 months, there's a possibility that you might only be able to afford a person for 3 months and then have to lay them off. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want you to sit down and think about those goals and objectives. What does it look like? What would you like it to look like? How long would you want to be the only person working in the business? What would it, what if you had to get an assistant, what would you need that person to do? What are the services and so on you would need them to do? How much would you need to pay that person? So I want you to start crafting that business plan. You can just do it generally. It doesn't have to be organized. And then I will help you to organize it and to structure it properly. Okay.
So goals and objectives for the business for period of
You could decide, yes, you can
Mm.
determine your
Uh-huh.
time span.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mm. Mhm.
Yes, Sylvester. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was another client. She was calling me to see if she could do a lunchtime session. It was like, lunchtime session. She, so I said, "Wait, no,
Mhm.
no, no, no. I need to schedule you. Give me some
Okay.
time."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So work on that for me, and that's very important. And like I said, you have a figure now to work with. That $83,000 might sound like a bigger set of money, but it's not. I'm gonna come back and show you how to break that down. Show you once you already have the list of services, but once you
Give me a second.
have,
Give me a second.
no problem.
Mm.
Mhm.
Hey, Cheryl. Sorry about that.
Right.
Mm.
Hi, Sylvester. Mhm. Good. So, like I said, you have an idea now of that 83,000, and I will
Yeah.
show you now how to take your products and services and break it down. I will show you how to do a plan around that figure and how to start and how to build it out and stuff like that.
So this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Definitely, definitely,
Oh
definitely.
Lord. All right. All right.
So you really should have an idea now as to how you gonna be thinking. When you start looking at people now because you understand your numbers, you realize no, well, hey, hold on. I can't be talking to 10 people and think that I can be a billionaire. I know about talking about thousands, talking or building networks of thousands of people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I look at practical things to do. You
Exactly.
know, maybe a
Because
thing. So
if you have a product that is $1,000 a month, you only need 83 people. So your brain has
mm,
to start thinking, okay, how can I take my skills and my services, my experiences, my know-how? What can I bundle that I can charge somebody $1,000 a month for?
mm,
And where are the people that can pay me $1,000 a month consistently for 12 months or 2 years, 5 years, whatever? So this is how you're going to be thinking differently now.
mm.
So as I told you, this program is very, very practical and it's designed to get you to where you need to be it, by a very direct route. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
I saw your social media. I saw your how you're communicating on social media now. I'm just smiling. I'm saying, yeah, he understanding. All those people that you dropped out of contact with that you didn't see for a long time, like, hi, how you doing? Yeah, man. So glad to reconnect.
Yeah. I try to make it consistent too,
Because you
right?
have to find out how you can serve them, even if it is that you're
Yeah.
looking for a wife. The conversation must be guided in such a way that you navigate it so you understand if you can meet the needs that that person has.
I like how you put everything in one package.
But that's what it's about. Relationship, business, and finance. You cover the credit, you cover everything.
You can't have to put everything in one package. Oh Lord.
I'm telling you.
Uh,
So yes. So when we come back, we will continue from here. Like I said, you can
mm.
tell me when would be good again for you. Um,
Most likely I ain't gonna do another business this month
okay,
because I can have another personal this month, right?
this
You
month,
got
right?
okay.
So we will do it. So think of the time for next month so that I can book you early, and I will book
Yeah.
it at a time
Yeah.
that. But tell me before you book it so that I could see if I have a time
Right.
that has maybe two
Okay.
hours as opposed to
Oh.
just a 1 hour because our sessions tend to go longer sometimes.
Mm.
So just let me know early when you're thinking of before you book,
Yeah, I
so I
can
can
do it
tell you.
early as possible.
Yeah,
It's just that I don't know my schedule
ahead of time.
long in advance. I just get
All
the
right.
schedule Thursday morning or and so on for
Okay.
the Saturday next.
Right. Okay. I got you.
So
I got you. All right. No problem.
yeah, but
Because
I
like a day like
can.
today, I would only have like an hour available.
Mm,
If I squeeze an hour and a half, because I need
okay,
to get now to KFL.
right,
So
right.
that's why I have to rush off. But ideally, I like to give us, like a 2 hour play range.
Yeah, and I thank you.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate it. All right. So we will communicate some more. Message me if you have any concerns and thing, and if anything that you do, just send it to me then in WhatsApp, and we can communicate from there.
yes,
All right.
and feel free to. get back to me on the juices.
Yes, I will. I will. I spoke to the
All
lady
right.
already, actually.
Oh, oh.
The label I sent you was mine, but
Uh-huh.
she wanted something similar. So I spoke to her
Oh,
already.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the best deal there.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
You get them at like $100 each.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know.
Uh,
Yeah, I know.
all right.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
Bye
Uh,
bye.